thing, man.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, GHB TV.
Mm,
I'm here with a man we do not have to announce, but we're gonna announce him anyway. Mr. Kenny Ellis, world class trainer. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What about yourself?
I'm good, man. Just day by day, going through some things, but I'm cool. You know what I mean?
I definitely understand that.
But I'm gonna ask you like I ask everybody else, why boxing? You know what I mean? What was it for you?
Well, I got into boxing as a kid. Had my share of street fights and school fights. My dad took me. He took me to a gym.
Yeah,
At first, a friend of mine had a boxing trophy. That was the first boxing trophy I was seeing, and
right.
that's what really motivated me. Then he took me to the gym, and
How old was you?
I've been about 12, 13.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So from that age, let's say 12 to 18, what was your experiences with boxing?
man. Gym wars like Kronk Gym.
Mm-hmm.
Going in the penitentiary and fighting, sparring pros over the years, and quite a few amateur fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
that was gonna
I,
be,
I started running the streets and kind of got away from it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
By the time I got myself together, shit, it was too late.
yeah. When you say too late, how old were you?
Uh, I was in my 20s, but I got married when I was 25.
Mm,
You know?
yeah, like my brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, so what got you into coaching?
Um, I was always coaching homies and friends in the neighborhood before I became an official coach. And we used to go around the basketball courts, different communities, and challenge whoever was on the court. We took 3 or 4 pair of gloves and boxed in and everybody. We wouldn't even worry about weight classes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But back in '99, Marvin McDowell from the Umar gym, he was in the newspapers. Gary opened up a gym. I was at work on my lunch break when I was reading. I said, I'm gonna go around there and see if he needed help. So I went around there, and he said he needed some help. So I started coaching officially USA boxers, then amateurs. That's how I got into
What was what would you say the biggest difference from then when you started coaching to now?
it. The It's so much, man. The USA way, the way USA boxing teach. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like when I used to fight, when I was 16, we could fight 21-year-olds.
right,
We can't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? And then
right.
the weight class, I remember fighting 10, 15 pounds lighter or 10, 15 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
I had a couple teammates. We would go to an amateur show. They would fight the first fight and the last fight on the same card, the same show.
Mm,
So it's kind of watered down now.
yeah.
But for the safety of the sport, though, so I understand that too.
Do you think it affects the level of fighters that we produce?
Um, well, back then, the age difference made a big difference because a 21-year-old man, he was more mature than a 16-year-old, even though some of the 16-year-olds, we beat them at times, but it gives the youth a better chance of, winning because they're
Okay.
teens against teens, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when did you feel like you really fell in love with coaching?
Um, as soon as I started working with kids and making them smile and understand the different struggles that they had, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And being able to help them, I felt good when I started helping the youth. You know what I mean? And learning their different personalities, the ups and downs. It's fun to see
Right.
them come in the gym thugged out, but then they do that complete turnaround and start acting like young men. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So to know that I'm a part of it, you know, that make me feel better too as a coach because they
I could
they save
I
the coaches just as much as we save them.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't lying. It give you somewhere to be.
Yeah, because I could be a whole lot of places if I ain't in that
Yeah.
gym. You
Yeah.
know?
Real shit. What I noticed, I could be wrong, but I noticed you was like a you like an animal guy. Is that
Yeah,
true?
you're right. You're right.
So what's some of the similarities you see with the animals and then with the kids?
They temperament, you know, like I don't care how vicious a dog is. Let's say you raising a dog, right?
Hmm.
A dog got a good side. Like I can take anybody's dog. If I don't care how many it is. If 9 out of every 10, I can get them on a leash. And
Mm,
some kids come in the door, they thugged out. All you gotta do is tap into their mind.
right,
You know what I'm saying? But humans and animals got a lot in common. The way they
right,
fight too. I study animal fights, comparing to humans. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
deep. It's a long story. One day we're gonna sit down and chat, but I'm gonna show you something. You be like, damn, I never looked at that.
Yeah, I mean, my homie explained it to me some years ago. You know what I mean, with some animal situations, and I ain't never look at it until he showed me, and then
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean, he was like, they got moves and all of that. They got
They
favorite
got a whole lot
moves.
of moves. People think they
Yeah,
just fight. No, they got offense and defense too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So, so I thought it was crazy. You know what I mean? When I found out you was an animal guy, do you think that helps you sometimes dealing with the
yeah,
different
yeah,
personalities in the gym?
yeah. People don't know it though, but I got it in my head. They don't have a clue. But yeah, I compare them to
Yeah.
animals all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a major part. But a lot of people would think you being foolish talking like that, but
Right.
it really is a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's your favorite type of fighter to work with?
My favorite type of fighter is I can work with any type, but I like punches
Mm-hmm.
because no matter what, a puncher can always get himself out of trouble
Mm.
at any given time. He could be down 11 rounds, and that 12th round, he can get it all back because he can punch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I
When
like I
you
like boxers, but I like punches more than anything.
right. When you
Yeah,
when you when you was younger, who was like your favorite fighters coming up when you was a kid?
man, it's so many of them, man. Marvin Hagler,
Mm.
Mugabe, Boom Boom Mancini. A lot of the guys that wasn't considered A class fighters, I like a lot of them too. You know, I just like rugged dudes that get down. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of these
Motherfucker.
guys, they taught in the gym. If they wasn't taught in the gym, they couldn't fight. But you got some dudes that's from that gutter. If
Yeah.
what they taught don't work, they gonna come. They gonna bring it from the heart. I like them
Yeah.
type of dudes, them
Who
type
who
of
would
fighters.
you Who would you say? What fighter today would you say remind you of those times when you was falling in love with the game?
Um, Number one is Tank. Tank was fighting before he came to the gym.
Right.
You know what I mean? Um, I like the Mexican Marksman, straight goon. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? A
mm,
lot, a lot of fighters, man. I noticed this over the years. They uncle, or their dad, or somebody take them to the gym because they was bullied, or they look like they was gonna go soft, the feminine way, so they put them in something tough.
yeah.
They still do that today.
Yeah.
You know, I don't say nothing, but I notice it. You know,
Yeah. For sure.
but then you got jokers that come in the gym because they love to fight too.
Yeah.
Like you take a, I ain't gonna say no name because they might come at me hard, but you can look at the fighters and tell why they people took them to the gym. They were probably getting bullied in school.
Mm.
You know,
No, I got you because, like you said, you see it all the time when the parents bring the kids in there, or a lot of times when they walk in by themselves. You know what type of guy you working with. You can hear me? Phone blacked out. You probably got a phone call. Ladies and gentlemen, this is GHB TV. And we got the world class trainer, Mr. Kenny Ellis, on here tonight. And I mean, you ain't gotta like it, you ain't gotta love it, but try to enjoy it because we here.
I'm trying
You
to
know?
come back on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you for sure. I just can't see you, but I can definitely hear you. You probably just gotta you ain't gotta exit out of the live, but just exit out of the app and then come back.
Exit out. Hold on.
Yeah, just not don't get out the live, but just swipe the screen up and then go back to the app. Open it back up. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, there you go.
I still don't see me on there though.
Yeah, I see. It look like it's being covered. You probably just got to turn the camera around.
Oh yeah, hold up. There you
Yeah,
go. My man
yeah,
just
we
told me
straight.
something.
Yeah, yeah, ain't about nothing.
You
And
know I'm
so,
old, right?
yeah, hey, I'm still learning. Hey, so you say you mentioned I like that you mentioned Benavidez because that's how I look at him. You know what I mean? Real rugged guy. He don't care about who he
Yeah,
fight. You know what I mean? He willing to
yeah.
get in there with anybody. When he fought my man the Cuban kid David
Morale.
Morrell. Yeah, my bad. Morrell. When he fought Morrell, was there any concerns with him going up against Morrell, or did you think he would just win it all along?
I think he was gonna win because the route he didn't have that many fights.
Hmm.
He ain't never been in deep water. That don't mean he was gonna lose the fight, but he didn't go. He had never been through what the Mexican Monster was gonna bring. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He ain't been in that deep water.
Hmm.
He still. I still think he's gonna be a champion one day though.
Yeah.
But
Can
the
you?
Mexican Monster, he's something different.
No, he is for sure. I like Benavidez a lot.
Yeah.
Kid.
When I first seen him, I had to grow on him because he reminded me of Jerry Cooney.
Okay.
He's just a little smaller, but they got the same legs, the same, everything, demeanor. But
You talking about like the way he built and all of
yeah,
that.
the way he fight too, yeah,
Yeah.
look just like him. Yeah,
Yeah. He throw a lot of punches too, especially for that
hmm
weight class.
yeah, he can fight though.
What are some of the qualities you look for in a fighter to let you know that a fighter is a special fighter?
Oh man, it's so many. It starts from when they first walk in the gym. To me, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like you could take a person that never fought in their life. Either they gonna get in there and try to bang, not knowing what they doing, or they gonna move around the ring thinking they boxing, not knowing what they do. And that's how you determine what they're gonna be. You just build off of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like the ones that in the gym that hate to be last. Always
Mm,
want to be first. They the ones.
yeah. They let you know that they want it.
Yeah, I don't say nothing to them, but I recognize it. Just build off of
Yeah. How long does it take you to figure a fighter out, whether it's a fighter that you coaches or a fighter that you're coaching against?
it. The first round, most of the time,
Mm,
I can watch their strongest round, especially in the amateurs. Pros, a
mm-hmm,
lot of the pros too. If I'm going at a fight, I look at them for a few minutes until we got him.
mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people think that the amateurs and the pros is the same. Could you explain some of the differences?
The rules as far as the rules. I think like most gyms that's been around, they got a dominant amateur that can hang with any of the pros. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
Once you turn open, if you got a good coach, you know how to sit down on punches and stuff,
mm-hmm.
even though you still amateur. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
a lot of the boxers today though that don't have the great coaches, good coaches, they pick up the bad habits in the amateurs and can't change it when it's trying to make that transition. That's why a lot of them coming through USA boxing, they can't punch when they turn pro.
yeah,
Because USA boxing, they take you through this European style. That's why I hate USA boxing. They making every nationality fight a European style. I'm not European. Why you want me to fight that European style?
mm,
That's because they giving the Europeans a better chance of winning these tournaments. So they forcing everybody to fight like them. If they didn't force everybody to fight like them, you know how we get there.
yeah, for sure. That's a major piece because we didn't get a gold medal in a minute with the
Exactly,
men.
because I think it was around about 2000, between 2003 and 2005, they changed the fighting rules, man. Now they got this thing. If you going hard trying to knock somebody out, you roughhouse them. In the
Yeah,
tournament. Roughhouse, where that come from?
right.
Come on, man. That's what it's about. They watering this shit down though.
And you feel like when they doing that, they taking some of the qualities away from certain fighters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They want you upright doing that. You know that thing they bounce. That ain't for everybody, man.
Yeah.
That shit ain't for everybody.
Outside of your squad coming up in the amateurs, who are some of your favorite amateurs though? Watching.
Back in the in the '80s,
I mean, no, but I mean, since you've been coaching.
man. DC, Baltimore, Philly. Philly always has some bump.
Mm-hmm.
DC. For a long time though, it wasn't a lot of boxing in Baltimore, but we was being in between DC and Philly. People started getting into it more. Now you got more gyms in Baltimore than ever. But it was always we used to go up to Philly back in the day and spar at Joe Frazier gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was always to me DC and between DC and Philly.
Where do you
But
think the where do you think the best fighters come from? It don't have to be one place, but like what you know what I mean? Where you think really the
I
best
think the
fighters come
best fighters come from the East Coast.
from? Why you say?
Cause if you look at the champions that come out of the DMV, the champions that come out of Philly, there's more champions coming out of them two places than anywhere.
Mm,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How you go ahead, go ahead.
I always said the East Coast have better fighters.
What you think about the game now with all the belts, stuff like that? How many you
Too
think it
many.
should be 4 belts?
Yeah, four is enough or three.
Yeah.
It's too many goddamn belts, man. And I think it should be mandatory unless you got a medical issue. You should have to defend your belt every 3 days. I mean, every 3 months.
Mm.
Every 3 months.
We get more action like that.
Exactly. Every 3 months, unless you got a medical issue where you need more time to get your shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Is it easier to work with the bigger weight classes or the smaller weight classes?
It depends. No, they both is easy to work with.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're easy to work with.
Yeah, I ask that because a lot of times I be telling people like when I'm working with bigger guys, I'm like, it's not that you can't do what the smaller guys are doing, but it ain't always safe. You know what I mean? A
Right.
big a big guy trying to do a lot of slick movement. Sometimes he get caught with a shot.
Get
That
caught, and you
that
gotta
be
you gotta you gotta you gotta run them, exercise them different too, different pace. You know
mm,
what I mean? A big guy.
yeah. I try to talk to people about it, but they think I be making up shit. I'm like,
Nah,
nah.
you definitely they fuck around and have a heart attack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Real shit,
Yeah,
man.
you gotta move them different.
Yeah. In today's game, what's your favorite weight class right now in the pros?
Right now, oh man, it's between the welterweights and lightweights.
Hmm.
They my two favorite right now.
You mentioned the welterweights. What you think about Boots Ennis? Should he stay or should he move up?
I think Boots should unify and then move up to 54. Once he unified, that's his goal. You know what I'm saying? Don't force him to move up before he reaches his goal. If the man want to unify 47, let him unify. Then move up to 54.
Hmm.
Unify 54 and on to the next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
A lot of times people they say, "Oh, he's scared of this man. He's scared." No, let that man reach his goal is to unify. Let him unify.
yeah.
You know?
Do you do you think people really understand how tough it is to be a professional fighter and then to also be on the elite level? You know what I mean? Do people
No,
really understand?
people don't understand. People don't even. They get mad. Sometimes I say a C fighter, or I say B fight. A, B, and C fighters. Don't get mad if I call a person a C fighter because a C fighter can get a world title at any given time.
Mm,
You understand? Catch the A fighter slipping. A, B, and C can get a belt at any given time. But it's definitely different levels to it. A C fighter is like a grown novice.
Mm-hmm.
His style is novice, but he can catch you. He can hurt you still.
Yeah.
He just don't have the best skills. You know what I'm
Which,
saying?
yeah, I'm with you.
Like
What?
like 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 Rolly. Rolly a C fighter.
Right.
That
Right.
motherfucker catch you clean, you going to sleep. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
Back
it.
in
And
the
I
day,
keep.
I don't know if you've ever watched Iran Barkley back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I watch Iran.
Strong ass C fighter.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Monster. Yeah.
So a C fighter will hurt you on any given day if you ain't coming correct.
How hard is it you think for a class fighter to stay focused, knowing that he fighting a C class fighter?
If he's I think if he in the gym doing everything, listening, dedicated, easy.
I'm glad
Easy.
you said that. Highlighted word, listening. How hard is it to get a guy to listen?
Gotta listen, man, cause that shit coming from that C fighter hard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don't sleep on him. That's the main thing, listening.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I tell people all the time, right? I say, I see what you have physically, but if you ain't listening, there's nothing I can do.
Ain't nothing you can do. Yeah, if you ain't coachable, ain't shit you can do.
Yeah. I try to tell people that I'm like, bro, you want me to do extra work, like you gotta listen to exactly what I'm telling you to do. If
Exactly.
not, if not, we're gonna have a hard time.
Exactly. And that's the
You know what I
part that they
mean?
don't get sometimes.
Do you feel like you deal with a lot of guys who have trust issues?
Nah,
Mm.
nah, not too many. A lot of guys let people in their head though, you know. A lot of guys want to stay on the internet and they compare themselves to other people their age. Everybody got their own path in this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know, everybody got their own path, and they think it's better over here, and then you go 300 miles away to throw the same goddamn punches you've been throwing your whole entire life.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's not rocket science.
yeah. I think what a lot of that is will be when a lot of these guys nowadays, like you spoke on, when they turn pro, they automatically pick up this star mentality and they want to be treated like a baby. And
Yeah,
it's like,
they want to get there overnight. It don't work like that. You know,
yeah, yeah, it really don't.
it don't work like that. Just be
And then,
patient
yeah,
and take
yeah,
your time. And when we see something, an opportunity there, go for it. You know, take advantage
mm,
of it.
mm-hmm. What is it like once you bring a guy up and you get him to like tournament status and he win the tournament? What's that feeling like?
That's a super feeling, great feeling because especially when it's one you started from scratch. You know, when he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't even hold his hands up, and all of a sudden he winning.
Mm.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. You know,
Yeah, yeah, that's a great feeling for sure. Especially like you said, when the guy ain't know nothing. You know what I
nothing at
mean?
all,
Yeah.
nothing at all, and you take them all the way to the pinnacle.
No, that's major. That's
So
major.
we had over 40 something national champions out of our gym.
What keeps you motivated and keeps you in the gym?
Loving the sport, and we get so many turnovers and new faces and happy kids. Just to see kids happy, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the best thing in the world. You see a happy kid
Mm.
go through that
Yeah,
transition. First, they come in, they are hot headed, attitude, beefing with everybody, and you turn them around and you see them smiling.
yeah.
You know,
But
a
he's
lot of them don't even know love exists until they, you know, get in that gym.
yeah, that's crazy. That's the truth, man. A lot of people. And do you feel like a lot of guys forget them days once they start gaining a little stardom?
Few of them, but for the most part, they remember. You know,
Hmm.
they remember. Then they have when the next one come through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
'Cause when you first go in the gym, it's like penitentiary. Everybody wants you to get in the ring so they can beat you. Then you earn your respect.
yeah.
Then you on their side waiting for the next newcomer. That shit crazy.
What is it like when you build the guy up, you get him there, and then something sidetrack him? You know what I mean? Then you lose him for a little bit. You got to try to
Sometimes
build
we,
him
we
back up.
we got a kid, man. Had a kid, one of the most talented kids. man, he started smoking that shit, man. He was supposed to turn pro that year. Now he's still on the corner smoking. He ain't coming back. His lips done turned purple and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Great kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you put all that time, man, and they just fall to the waist. You know, the streets grab them.
Yeah. What's the feeling when you put all that work in and a guy he come back after he been bullshitting and he like, coach, man, train, take me back. I want to train again.
The trust ain't the same.
Mm,
You know, I mean, you come in the gym, we will work with you, but I just your word values no more than a pile of horse shit now. Until you rebuild, improve
yeah,
yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah. We can go back. We can go back to the animals real quick. You mentioned the horses. What's some of the similarities you see in the horse that you see in the fighter?
Shit. I never used a horse, but
Mm,
a horse is a smart thinker though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, they smart. They kick the shit out you too.
that's
They
real shit.
position themselves to get that kick off. It's a wrap. If they land it, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. You've been hearing about this this challenge everybody been
With the
talking
gorilla,
about a hundred men versus one gorilla.
let
What
me
you
tell you
think?
something. First of all, I can hit them 100 men. Say you go first.
Right.
You go first.
Yeah.
Listen. Whichever one come back with no blood on them, get $1 million.
Yeah.
That motherfucker
Yeah.
gorilla hip toss their asses so bad, man.
Yeah.
Non-stop stamina. Non-stop stamina. All they do is climb trees all day.
Yeah.
100 men, they ain't gonna get shit done with that gorilla. They ain't gonna get shit done.
That's what I'm trying to tell people. I'm like, man, it's a motherfucking wild animal. And then somebody tried to say, well, we've been capturing gorillas for a long time. They in the zoo. I said, yeah, but they using tranquilizer guns and all
Exactly. They
types of
put them to
shit.
sleep before they pick their ass up. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I
Go
mean?
go go grab one with your bare hands and watch what happens.
Yeah. I believe it's tomorrow night. You got Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez. What you think about that fight?
12 rounds, I go the distance, Haney gonna get it.
Hmm.
If it's a knockout, it'll be Ramirez.
So you say Ramirez needs the knockout to win.
Yeah. I think if Devin get hit with a nice hook, he gonna have a flashback.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
I just watched the weigh-in, right? And I peeped something. Jose Ramirez got real long arms.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? He,
And
he
this
got
is
good.
second person. This is second person that Haney's fighting that's his size in his whole career. He was always bigger.
Mm.
First person was Garcia. Now he great fight this guy, somebody his size. You know?
So how you see that fight playing out?
Oh, I seen it. I see it going back and forth a little bit. If it make it to the
Dev gonna get the decision. I think somebody called his phone again. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. GHBTV. I know y'all ain't see me in a minute, but we back. We back working. I had to call the OG. I got him up here.
yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I got him up here. We talking real boxing. So we got Teofimo Lopez versus Barbosa. What you think about that fight?
I think Lopez will outbox him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
He,
think he gonna knock him out.
Lopez will knock him out.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. He's so goddamn slow, but he tough though.
No, he is tough.
He tough. It
He
depends
never.
on what Lopez show up, because sometimes his mental is just don't be locked in.
Mm,
He feel like he ain't supposed to get caught, and then when he get caught, he kind of fall apart. Look out at the orders and all that shit. You get emotional. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You think you think that play a major part mental when you see certain things when you watching fighters?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you see a fighter look over here. Some fighters do it. They good enough to do it, but some fighters do it because they're just not concentrating. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like Boots and Tank, they can do that shit
Yeah.
because they just that skillful.
Yeah. I try to. That's another thing I try to explain to people. I say the average person can't think when they're in one-on-one combat. You know what I
No.
mean? So to be able to train to do that for rounds and rounds and rounds and stay focused, to me, that's a borderline genius. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree 100%.
Hmm. Who's your favorite? Who is your favorite fighter to work with to date?
Today,
Yeah.
there's so many of them, but we have a kid in the gym, man, Damari Filson.
Hmm.
He's a student of the game. He don't miss no days. He do whatever you ask him to do,
Yeah.
and it makes it that much easier. All he
I
do is
try.
he study fights all night, every night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not just like this generation of fighters. Damari 20 years old. All they know, all they can name is fighters that fight on cable. Pay-per-view. This
Yeah.
kid, he go way back before we was born with fighters.
Mm. Yeah.
Old school shit.
Yeah.
Yes, IQ is beautiful, man.
That I try to tell guys that all the time. When you live it and you really pay attention, that's what's really gonna help you develop. Not just watching the favorite guys because they doing
Right,
something cute. You know what
right.
I mean? Yeah.
And we always sending each other old fights back and forth. Watch this, and he come back the next morning, come in the gym talking about what he's saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta watch this shit. If you a boxer, you gotta watch boxing.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you study the coaches too? Like you study the
I
fighters?
when I'm watching a fight, I look at the corner. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely pay attention to the corner. Like, wow. A lot of people ask me, why you don't never be inside the ring when me and Calvin do fights? Because I want to make sure they okay physically.
Yeah.
Certain things I do in the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to do that part. But at any given time, I can get in the ring whenever I want. But I like my position in that corner.
Yeah. I was about to say you understand positioning. A
Yeah,
lot of people don't get that.
they don't get. I see people panic with the 60 seconds because they don't realize you only got 45 seconds when you're cut, man. For real, by the time they get to the corner and sit down, you got 45 seconds left. A lot of
Yeah.
guys get in there, they panic.
What's
You got to
the
keep your composure, just like a fighter.
right? Right. What's the feeling when you know you going up against another good coach?
It's a good feeling because me and Calvin talk about that all the time. We look across that ring. We don't just look at the fighter. If you got one of them coaches that's world known, yeah, it's great be thump because
Yeah.
it's our mental against their mental. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And we know they prepared for the fight, so it's gonna be a strategic, war.
How is it working with Coach Calvin? Because I see y'all a lot. You know what I mean? When y'all come to Philly, and I've been down to y'all gym a couple times. You know what I mean? And I see y'all got a bunch of guys, man, different ages. Man,
Watch out,
how is it working with Calvin? With all the kids and stuff like that.
man. The chemistry is like perfect. Calvin, he like me. A lot of coaches they get in it for the money, hoping to get a world champion, and then if I wasn't even working, if I never worked with pros, I'll still be in gym working with amateurs. Calvin got a passion for the sport just like I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I the one got Calvin into the pros. When I met Calvin, I had like 3 or 4 pros that went to the gym with me, and one day I took Calvin to a pro fight with me, and once I seen that my fighter was gonna be okay, I said, Calvin, you get up in the ring, and Calvin was shocked. He ain't look back, man. Yeah, he ain't look back. But the
Yeah.
chemistry is we don't fuss about who the number one coach is. Some people want it to be known. No, I tell people Calvin the head coach, but if I didn't tell them, they wouldn't know it.
Right.
We don't beef
Right.
up, we don't beef about the positions and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just like to put the work in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do,
Everybody
do,
working on the same boat.
do you think you get better results like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
How is
got
it how is it having help though?
Say it again.
How is it having help instead of doing things on your own?
It's always good, to have help. I remember working the corner by myself, just me by myself. I can do it, but it's always, good to have help. Yeah, I'm cool with it.
I'm asking this next question because I got a daughter, and I know you got a daughter that fight and now is a professional fighter. How was it, in the beginning getting your daughter to start training and things like that, and how was it transitioning into the pros?
I started training her. She was in Pampers in the basement, and
Mm,
then she got to kindergarten. I started taking her to the gym every day, and
right,
she just say, she came. I treated her just like everybody else.
right,
She's. I told her. I tell her to this day, you can quit whenever you want. You can stop whenever you want. It's a tough
yeah,
ass game. And over the years, people thought I was forcing her to do it, but she my youngest daughter. If I was forcing them to do it, I would have made my older daughters do it.
right, right.
But yeah, I treat it just like I do to all the other fighters, man.
Do you feel like that help you more when you also coaching in the gym throughout the day, but then you got your daughter at home and you still talking boxing? You think that help you more?
We watch fights and shit all the time, man.
Yeah,
Sometimes she'd call me she might be over a friend's house. Daddy, fights on this channel, such and such fight tonight, and I
yeah,
take it on. But we don't talk boxing all the time when we home.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? We
right.
hang out, man, go to the mall or some shit. But shit, she talk about more boxing than me. When we're not in the gym, we might be driving in the car. She
Yeah,
bring up some fights.
yeah. What is it? Is it a difference when you're working with the female fighters and when you're working with the male fighters? Is it a difference, like like preparing her?
Um, nah, we push them through the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we push them through the limit, man. Everything we do with the guys, we do with the females.
I ain't get to see y'all do a whole camp, but I definitely been around y'all during camp, things like that, and then random days. Y'all definitely got a hell of a system, man.
Yeah,
I like watching y'all work for sure.
yeah, man. I wish you could see a whole camp, man. Should be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully one day, we can get it together. Man, might be
And the
able to
same
mix
with
it
y'all,
up.
man. Y'all got a mean system.
Yeah,
Yeah, a mean system, man.
yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
What you looking forward to next with the fighters?
Um. Well, we got a few young boys just getting fight their debuts, and like a couple of them 3-0, 4-0, just putting them on different cards and getting their numbers up.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting
We
their
got
numbers up.
building up a fresh game.
Yeah, we got so many that's turning. Every so many 2 3 years, it's a new flock coming through.
Yeah. Now, if you take Tank out of the equation, 35. Who your favorite at 35?
My favorite at 35, I'm a rock with Abdullah Mason.
Why you say Abdullah?
Abdullah young man, and he getting the job. He don't play with his food. A lot of times they say, "Oh, he didn't get his man strength yet." These guys, 23, 24, they playing with their food.
Mm,
What's gonna happen when Abdullah turn 24?
mm.
He already getting them out of there. I like the way he places his punches too. Take his
Yeah.
time. You know what I'm saying? He places his joint. He don't waste no shots. He get them off.
What's that? What's that feeling like when you had a crazy camp? Y'all been through it. Y'all been pushing to the limit, but then you go in there and get an early stoppage. What's that like?
It'd be crazy because you put so much into that camp, and then boom, it's over with.
Yeah.
That's when your fighter got to fall back a couple weeks so he won't overtrain for the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah, because if you get a quick knockout and jump right back in the gym and go hard again, you can overtrain, peak out too early. You know what I'm saying? I see a
A lot.
lot of fighters right now. They peak out before the fight. They win,
Yeah.
but they be peaked out before they even get in the ring.
A lot of people don't understand what that means because they hear the phrase, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Can you break down the difference? Staying ready and then overtraining.
Sometimes you just stay. You in the gym. Don't go no more than 13 pounds over your fight weight. You know what I mean? You go in the gym, tap the bag, do basic shit, and
Yeah.
when you get a fight date, you turn it up. Whereas don't take that long to get the weight down. If you got a lot of weight on, if you got weight on you,
Right.
you don't go too high so the weight will come right off. Give
Right.
yourself a good 6 weeks.
Right.
Sometimes people get a call to be ready in 2 weeks. Depending on how they train it.
Yeah.
But you want to stay ready, your time and keep your timing and stuff, even though you don't have no fight coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stay on the mitts, stay on the speed back, stay on the doubling backs, stay on the bodysuit, spar. Just make sure your timing is there. So if somebody say, "Hey, can you be here in 2 weeks?" and you turn it up, and you right there.
Right. A lot of guys scared of that though. They
Yeah,
don't wanna.
yeah. I had a few phone calls over the years, man. One guy called me on a Friday, wanted us to be somewhere next Saturday, but the fighter was 20 pounds up. He said, "I can do it. I can do it." You might can do it, but it ain't right. Fuck around, be too weak in the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta give yourself time to gradually come down. And it happened twice with the same fighter.
Yeah.
Good payday too, but we ain't take it because he was too heavy.
Right.
Too
You
heavy.
think you think Jalil Hackett should move up or stay at 47?
Um, I don't know how he feel, but he big enough to move up.
Yeah,
But
he a
if
big
he
kid.
feel like he could make 47, he can stay at 47.
Yeah, that's a big kid, man.
Yeah, yeah.
For
He work
sure.
hard though. Jaleel work hard, man.
No, he do. He do. I've been watching him since he was a kid. He been working
Yeah,
hard for a long time.
yeah. Another dedicated fighter. Good
How
kid.
hard how hard is it to all right, so the question is, can you teach that type of dedication or you think it really gotta just be in the person?
You gotta be in the person.
Mm.
Yeah, you can't make a person do what they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be in them. They got to love what they do.
I asked that question because a lot of fighters they think you supposed to motivate them all the way through, and I try to tell dudes, I say, listen, I could do my job in the gym, but when you go home, I can't make you stay focused when you home.
Exactly. You gotta understand that you're a professional athlete. So when your friend over there eating a whole pizza, you can't eat no whole pizza and drink all that damn soda. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You gotta remember that. Take it. You gotta take it serious. You know.
Yeah, for sure. What is it like when you got a kid? He might, let's say he got to weigh in tomorrow, but he about 5 pounds over. What we doing?
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah,
No, no, I can get that off easy. Just
yeah,
5 pounds. Yeah, that ain't bad. See, I be seeing guys, man, the day before the fight trying to shed 10 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Hey, 5 pounds ain't bad at all. You can do that
yeah,
in one workout.
yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
people, a lot of people I see, I ask that too, because it's a lot of guys out here be cramming their weight. And I be like, bro, like you don't want to kill yourself now.
No,
Like get,
no.
especially if
Five
you're
pounds.
getting older.
5 pounds ain't bad.
Yeah. Do you pay attention to when you getting a guy ready? Let's say the opponent. Do you pay attention to his age? You know what I mean? How he been
I
performing?
look at
What's
yeah. I look at his age. I look at the people he fought, where the people was from. If he got
yeah,
any losses, how long ago did he just lose, or he lost early in his career?
yeah,
Is his knockout ratio keeping up with his amount of fights he got? You know what I'm saying? I look at all that shit.
yeah.
And I
Try to
check
find out.
if they had an amateur background. I look at all of it.
Yeah.
I be home at night, because
But
a lot of them records be built up. They be bluff.
now this what I try to explain to people too. See how you just broke all that down, but you talking about one fighter. Now I'm trying to tell people, imagine doing that for 20 people.
Every month.
Yeah,
I got to fight for such and such, and you up. But the fighters don't see that part. They don't see
yeah,
that part.
yeah. They don't think you working. I had a few incidents like that in the gym where a person think I'm not paying attention. And I'm like, you think I'm not paying attention because I'm not saying nothing different to you. But I'm
It's
asking for
crazy.
this.
I told one of the parents the other day, don't think I ain't paying y'all no mind because me and Calvin be doing shit, but we don't. The fighter don't have to know everything,
Yeah,
you know. But we definitely be working, man.
yeah. Talk about that though, real quick. How a fighter they want things laid out, but they don't understand you in there mixing chemicals, man. You trying to, you know what I mean? Really,
Yeah,
Get
they
the
think they.
best out of them.
Yeah, they think everything got to be like they world champion. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You ain't no champion yet. You got to crawl just like everybody else did.
right.
We be putting that shit together though.
Yeah, I'll be watching y'all, man. Y'all definitely stay with some work, man. Y'all see, and y'all always got good young fighters, and y'all always got good pros, man. Good up and coming guys.
Appreciate it. Yep.
And with it, yeah, y'all be bringing up truckloads of them dudes, man. Y'all be 2, 3
Yeah,
trucks
we're gonna
coming up.
show up. We're gonna show up. The same with y'all. Y'all keep a gang, man. Keep a gang.
Shit. We be having to get together when y'all come up.
I remember. I remember. Boots probably was about. Boots probably was about 10, 11 years old, man.
Yeah,
And we came up to spar one of Bozy fighters, and they sparred 2 rounds, two 15-minute rounds,
yeah,
5-minute break in between the rounds, and Boots was on the side of the ropes with his elbows at this watch, little ass
yeah.
kid.
Yep.
I remember that. Boots about 11 years old.
That's how you always been too.
Yeah, that's how long we've been coming up there, man.
No, that's some shit. What I see we got Truck Simpson, he fighting Jahad Tucker. Y'all gonna be getting him ready for that fight?
Yeah, Calvin gonna slide out and start working. I'm coming behind Calvin probably some days later.
Okay.
Yeah,
What you think about that fight?
I think it's a good matchup. Shorty come up from a smaller weight class though. I don't think he's strong enough.
Mm.
I don't think he's strong enough for Truck.
That fight
But
gonna be at 160?
yeah, 160.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good joint, man. I, I'm
Good.
I'm
That's gonna be
I'm
a good
glad
one.
they made that fight.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Shorty, I don't know. I just don't think he can beat Truck. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like Shorty though. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I like his spirit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He
yeah,
he talk he talk that shit and he come there, he do come to
yeah.
fight.
He
You
coming
know
to
what I mean?
fight though.
Yeah, for sure. Hey,
Shit,
hey, hey, Coach Kenny, man, I appreciate you for tapping in with me, man.
man. Anytime, man. That's what I do.
Yes, sir. I
Yeah, I'll
appreciate
probably
you.
be on Mill City later on tonight. You know,
Right. No, I know you definitely gonna be on Mill City. I'll be watching your joints on there.
I'll
I
be
don't
on there
watch.
tripping.
I don't really listen to too many people when I'm checking out the interviews and stuff. But I always check your joints out
I'll be up there tripping though, man. I'll be geeking sometimes.
for
Uh,
sure.
Mill,
Yeah,
Mill City try to get you them trick questions, man.
he get you rolling for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I appreciate you for coming through though, man.
Anytime, man. Just hit me up.
Yes, sir.
I
Thank you
appreciate you having me on.
for sure. I'm
I'll be up
Greg
there way
Hackett.
soon though. I'll let you know when we coming up.
All right, bet.
All
All
right,
right.
I'm out.
Yep. I'm Greg Hackett, y'all. That was just an interview with Coach Kenny Ellis. Listen, if you didn't catch it, I think you want to send this to a family member, send this to a friend. This was a great interview. Appreciate the love and support. I'm out.